with you people? Every famous nigga that gets arrested is not Nelson Mandela? Yes, the government conspires to put a lot of innocent black men in jail on fallacious charges. But R. Kelly is not one of those men. We all know the nigga can sing. But what happened to standards? What happened to bare minimums? You a fan of R. Kelly? You want to help R. Kelly? Then get some counseling for R. Kelly. Introduce him to some older women. Hide his camcorder. But don't pretend like the man is a hero. And stop the damn dancing. Act like you got some goddamn sense, people. Damn. Don't playing around here.
It still shocks me to this day how R. Kelly was able to get away with what he did with no consequence at all. Moments like this should not have happened. It's time to hold these people responsible. In a world where influence carries immense power, it's time to hold celebrities accountable for their actions and their impact on society. In this video, I will be reviewing some of the weird behaviors by certain celebrities from this year. On January 3rd, 2024, Cat Williams was interviewed on Shannon Sharp's podcast called Club Shay Shay. In this interview, Cat takes shots at fellow comedians like Ricky Smiley, Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, and Kevin Hart. Cat also makes the statement that all lies will be exposed. This statement had more power in it than anyone thought possible.
It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
Some people took issue with the way Cat Williams called out some of his peers. But to me, if there are people doing terrible things, then they should be called out for it accordingly. We need to hold these celebrities accountable for their actions to prevent further harm of those that are the most vulnerable. In April, we got one of the greatest rap beefs of all time, Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. I won't get into the nitty-gritty about who did what on each song or which song was better than the other. I will simply be taking a look at the behavior that was highlighted by the beef. Drake, one of the greatest rappers/artists alive, has had some suspicious activity with young women in his past, from kissing an underage girl on stage, to having an inappropriate relationship with a young Millie Bobby Brown.
I met Drake in an Australian hotel. And honestly, we text all the time now.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
What is his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
And many more odd instances in his career. Now, having said all of that, do I think Drake in any way is a predator as mentioned in the song Not Like Us? In all honesty, I don't think he is a predator. But boy, is he teetering the line with some of these interactions with young girls. But I mainly bring this up to highlight the weird behavior that has been going on right in front of the public eye. Drake does not care how these specific situations look because he knows at the end of the day, his fans are going to be there and be loyal to him, feeding both his pockets and ego. This type of power and arrogance is shown perfectly in his final response to Kendrick Lamar, titled The Hard Part 6. To summarize this song, Drake pretty much goes on saying none of this matters at the end of the day. And quote, "If I was effing young girls, I promise I have been arrested. I'm way too famous for this ish you just suggested. This line in itself shows a level of ignorance from Drake, as there have been many successful and rich people who have been caught creating inappropriate relationships with children. Now again, I do not think Drake is a predator, but just because I believe that doesn't mean I should turn a blind eye to the weird interactions. Drake and many other celebrities should get called out and be held accountable for these inappropriate actions. I unfortunately think the song Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar overshadowed this and created an environment where Drake gets to slide because the song is great. Instead of holding Drake accountable and having a dialogue about it, we are singing about Drake being a predator and making jokes about it instead. To me, I don't think this is the way Drake should be held accountable in the court of public opinion.
And I think anybody who's listening to Not Like Us that believes what Kendrick is saying and is still listening to Drake is severely underestimating the issue that Kendrick is addressing throughout this entire back and forth. I think if you believe him, but you still say that track is hard and I can bump to it and I can jump to it and it bumps wherever I go and I'm still going to listen to Drake, I think you're a hypocrite. I think that this whole back and forth and this beef has completely gone beyond where it's supposed to. And the allegations that have been levied against one side are so serious that if you do overlook it, just to look at this whole thing as entertainment, you're completely missing the point of what Kendrick Lamar is trying to say. Drake was attacking this as if it's a back and forth and they battling. Kendrick is saying, I think you are one of the worst people to ever walk this earth. You don't believe any of the allegations. And that's the part that I think is bad, because there is a pattern of the allegations. There is a track record, a history that shows that there is legitimacy to someone looking at this and at least side-eyeing Drake if you didn't want to completely stop listening in totality. You can say as much as you want, I don't believe it. You know, I don't think that I don't think that's true. I don't think that he does talk to underage people. Well, it's a fact that that happened. I don't think that he's had inappropriate relationships with minors. Well, it's a fact that that's happened. I don't think that he's touched anyone that's under 17. Well, it's a fact that that happened. In front of your face, too, by the way.
Drake has been a presence in hip-hop and music for almost 2 decades now. This beef will only result in a chip in his armor that will be immediately replaced once he drops another hit record. On September 17th, Diddy was arrested and charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Diddy's recent arrest is the biggest reason I created this video. Looking at all of these old video clips of him interacting with others, it becomes deeply sinister.
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you haven't. I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so. Correct. Okay. My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. Uh-huh. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Yeah. Everyone introduce yourself.
My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Oh, Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baroni.
Ava Baroni Combs? Yes, it was breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child. I want you to tell them the story about how I adopted you. But you still have beautiful parents that, but you're my child also.
Things like this were happening in our faces the entire time, but instead of having a dialogue about these weird interactions, they just ended up getting swept under the rug due to Diddy's success and wealth. Celebrities like Diddy are evil people who are not afraid of any repercussions towards them. The Casey situation highlights just how evil Diddy is. Doing this in a place where there are cameras and other people present. This type of evil should always be demeaned and should never become a status quo for ordinary people, especially celebrities. The oddest part about this whole Diddy thing is people coming out, giving an excuse, or using whataboutism to avoid talking about the issue at hand.
Do the bullshit. There's a lot of people that do these things and we don't look at them in any way, or if we do, it's not highlighted.
Okay, so flip two things.
Pardon me, I'm not done.
Okay, sorry.
People, it's easy for somebody to just wake up one day and watch something on the internet and decide to change their experience that you have with them. Even if you say, yo, come on, girl, like, nah, I don't want, no, come on, what we doing? That's, I told the nigga no, and he, like, these things are gray areas that people don't want to talk about. You just have to abide by society's new rules and just accept it because this is where it's going. It doesn't make it right, and it's fucked up too. Fuck Puff. I'm not talking about Puff. I don't give a, obviously the shit that I read, it's been a long time. It's this shit that he's been going through and he's been doing, not going through, he's been doing to people. So, nigga, if you did it, you gotta wear that. But I'm just talking about just everyday people that experience these things that somebody could just wake up and decide to change exactly what happened, and we're gonna go with that and go with them.
Regardless of what anyone thinks or feels about the situation, Diddy's going to jail for a long time. The DOJ has a conviction rate of 98%, which means the odds are against Diddy, just like the people he has harmed over the years. Hopefully more information will come out about the people who were involved in Diddy's freak-offs and baby oil baths. Guys, if you like this video, please make sure to comment your thoughts, give a like, and subscribe. Thank you for your time.